Everybody, so in this video I'm just basically going to be teaching you some offline marketing strategies and just basically being able to make some sales while you're out and about. You know, there's been a lot of people that have been asking me a lot lately that, hey Vince, do you just market online? No. The reason I don't, and the biggest reason at least, is because I basically am a marketer and I think like a marketer. You have to have a marketing mindset, okay guys? And so what is the biggest part of being a marketer? Well, getting traffic to your content or sales video. And what is traffic in general? People, just eyeballs, okay? And so when you're out and about, why not use it? You're a marketer, why not go out and get a lead, maybe even a sale, you know? It just makes perfect sense. Okay, but one of the biggest fears out there in the world is public speaking, and then right underneath that is talking to people that you don't know, unfamiliar conversations. Okay, and so people are afraid of people because they're afraid of rejection, they're afraid of what other people think. And something that I had a really huge breakthrough of when I was 19 years old, I had that common fear. I was afraid of talking to people I don't know. I was very shy, wasn't very outspoken, and something I had a really breakthrough in one of the conventions I went to was that there is more fear out there in the world against me than me of them. You got to think about it. There's only one of me, okay? And I have fear of people, okay? Yeah, I do. I had fear of people, okay? But what I realized was there are millions of people out there that have the same fear directed towards me. So there's more fear coming at my level. People are more afraid of me than I am of them. Okay? People literally are more afraid of me and you than you are of them. There's more fear directed towards you. So this is what helped me actually get over myself and be able to go out and actually start being myself and talking to people. Okay? Now, what is the biggest way that you can actually conquer your fear? People say, oh, well, I just can't bring myself to do it. Well, this is the thing, guys. The only way, that Brian Tracy actually said this, is something I learned from him. The only way to actually conquer fear is by doing the fear itself. Because when you actually do the fear, do whatever you're afraid of, the fear is no more. So if you no longer have that fear, you start to become confident in that area. And by confidence turns into skill, and skill just goes farther. And you just become the person you really want to be. Okay, and so what I encourage you to do, if you are afraid to talk to people and you have that fear, just go up and start a random conversation every day. It doesn't have to pertain to your business. This can be just practice for you. Go up and start one random conversation, whether it's with an old person, with a really cute girl or guy, whatever. And just go up and talk to them, introduce yourself, get to know them, make a new friend. That's it. That's all you're doing is relationship building. If you are a network marketer, the biggest thing is networking, because if you don't network, you can't market in that manner. You understand what I mean? And so, what I encourage you guys to do is to not go out and start doing offline marketing. Don't just go out to do offline marketing. Okay, this should be something that you're doing when you're already out and about. Okay, this should be something. If you're going to a store, that's when you want to be creating a new relationship. Start talking with the cashier or whatever, okay, the person that's in front of you in line, or someone that grabbed the same cereal box as you. Oh, you like that too? Hey, that's awesome. You know, it's just the small things that lead to a relationship and can actually lead you into a business partner for lifetime. So I encourage you guys to not just go out and market just for offline marketing. Don't go out just to market offline, okay? Do it while you're already out and about. It just saves you time. Time management is one of the biggest things that will actually make you the most money in your life. Okay, what do you do when you see someone? What do you do when you see someone when you want to actually start talking to that person? You see that they're kind of sharp looking. You see that they may seem to have some intelligence. They're reading a book, whatever. So let's say you're going to Starbucks, okay, and you see a person over here on the right, and they're sitting there reading Think and Grow Rich, okay, and you know automatically that they're a business person, because 99% of anybody that reads that book is business minded, because that's what that book is based off of. Okay, so they're reading Think and Grow Rich. So automatically you know that they are business minded and they are looking for additional way to make money, not just from a job. Okay, so how do you get yourself in front of that person to where you're actually able to build that relationship? Well, you got to introduce yourself, right? Obviously. So what do you do to introduce yourself? Okay, this is something that I learned in a book that is very, very popular. It's How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. If you haven't read that book, I highly suggest that you guys just go and get it, read through it. It has some of the best advice you'll ever do, and it actually has homework assignments for you. If you follow through with it, you will actually never have a fear and actually be able to be confident talking to anybody. Okay, so the biggest thing first thing you want to do is introduce yourself. That's it. Okay, so what do you do to introduce yourself? Some people may be asking, oh, well, that's what do I do? That's kind of hard. I don't know what to say, blah, 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 whatever. Well, it's coming. Don't worry. When you're looking at that person, they're obviously reading Think and Grow Rich. If you already have read it, perfect. That's something you guys already have in common. Look at something that you admire at that person. Okay, look at that person and look at something that you admire about them. Even if it's not just that book. Even if it's the slacks that they have on, or some wristband that they've got on, or a piece of jewelry, or whatever. Okay, look at that person and something that you honestly admire. Once you notice something about them that you can relate to, walk up to them and say, "Excuse me, sir," or "Ma'am, excuse me. I just noticed that you're reading Think and Grow Rich. That's awesome. I commend you for that. You know, and just start come up with a conversation and just start talking about them. The biggest thing that anybody ever talks about is themselves, and that's the only thing that anybody really loves to talk about when they first meeting someone. And well, people just talk about themselves all the time. Okay, and so what you want to do is start talking about them, get to know them. Okay, and introduce yourself, and then get to know them. That's it. Start asking some questions about them and interact with them. You know, and don't just be like a robot. Well, okay, and then what about this? And then what about this? No, you don't want to just bombard them with questions. Interact with them, you know, and just kind of go have a fluent conversation. It's easy. Once you introduce yourself and it's something and you start talking about something that you actually admire, it's easy to talk in general to that person. Okay, and then after that, what you want to do is get to know that person and get to know them on a personal level, not just their name is Bob and they are going to Starbucks because of this, and this. No, get to know them. What do they do? Okay, what do they do for work? Why are they reading that book? You know, get to know them on a personal level. You know, it's where that you can start to become their friend. That way, when you smile, they smile. You know, and you guys can joke around and start developing a relationship. Okay, that's the biggest part, is adding value and becoming valuable to that person. Okay, and once you start adding value into it, and you start talking to them, and they're naturally, when you start asking what they do and blah blah blah, they're going to ask you what you do. Okay, you're a network marketer. That's it. Okay, so they're going to ask you, what do you do? You don't want to talk too much about this subject at all. You want to keep it as minimal as possible, because this is the part to where you want to pique their interest. Okay, this is the part to where it's going to make them curious and want to know more. Okay, and so this is the trick. Basically, they're going to be like, oh, well, what do you do? Well, for example, if you market online, well, I'm a marketer. I make money off of sites like Facebook, YouTube, stuff like that. They're gonna and shut up. Don't talk anymore. You know. And if you don't want to say exactly that, and if you don't really do that, you can say off of Google and my blog or whatever, and just shut up. But don't explain anymore. And they're gonna, what? What do you mean? Well, yeah, I've been marketing for a couple years. You don't really want to give out too much information, right? You want to keep them interested, and then the next step is getting them to the video. Now, how do you do that? Now, if you guys both actually have time and you have a computer or a what are those things called? A iPad or one of those types of devices to where you can actually watch the sales presentation right there, show them. Well, it'd be a lot easier if I was able to show you. That way you can get the full idea, because it's a long, complicated process, and the the company overview explains it the best. Oh yeah, sure, I'd love to watch it. Okay, well, hold on one second and type it out. It's that easy. Bam. They watch the sales presentation, and then I would say 60% of everybody that you're going to talk to signs up. And then there's going to be some 40% of like, oh, that's really interesting, blah, 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 blah. I really wish I could do it. Well, why couldn't you? And you guys can go into it. But that's that. And if they don't sign up, that's perfect. Great. They're a warm lead. You get to know them. They're your friend now. It's that easy. So all you got to do afterwards, if they say no, is get their contact information. Don't really give them yours, but get theirs. Because if you get theirs, that is the most powerful tool that you can have. Because if you get their name, address, and phone number, or even if it's name and phone number, call them up, say, hey Bob, yeah, this is Vince. We talked about, I don't know, like 4 days ago, and I just wanted to call in and chat with you, see how you're doing, and redeveloping your relationship, reinstating your friendship. That way when you are able to get them to buy, or they are able to get the money, or whatever their excuse was, they buy. Because they know you. You're not just trying to steal money from them and take money from them. Guys, this is easy. Offline marketing is easy. All you have to do is just develop a relationship. I have several videos that are going to be coming out. Just stay tuned and go ahead and flip through them. It's going to be awesome. You guys will love it. Until then.